Hello and welcome to another day on Cornwall Pocket Farm, where I try and figure out how to live sustainably on 300 square metres in the city. It's a beautiful sunny day today in the middle of winter, and so it's definitely a garden day. And I've got a couple of things that I really need to get on with today. One of them is that I need to harvest my ginger and also my turmeric. Turmeric? I don't know. How do people say that? Either or. I say turmeric. That's probably wrong. Anyway, yes, my turmeric and my ginger. Basically, I need to harvest those. They've died down. I grow them in pots, as you've seen before. I'll link the video up above that's for last year's turmeric and ginger harvest. So I grow them in pots. They start off in the conservatory, then I put them outside all through the summer, and then I bring them in when it gets colder again, and they sort of finish off the season inside here. But eventually they do die back. Once they've done that, that's when I harvest them, and then I'll put them back into the same pots with some more enriched compost, and then I'll give them a little bit of a water as we get closer to spring, and they'll kick off yet again. So that's one of the jobs that I've got to do. The other one, of course, is to sow more seeds. We're definitely in that season now. I'm on my third wave of sowing, so the first ones are coming on nicely, and I've also repotted those. And then I've got my second load of seeds now, which are up in seedling stage and will soon need potting on. And I need to do my next wave of seed sowing. I generally sow seeds every 2 weeks, and that way I remember to do it. That works quite well for me because I sow the seeds every 2 weeks, and then every other week, the week in between if you like, I then will pot on anything that's ready to pot on. So that gives me a sort of a simple job list that I know that I need to do whenever I have a garden day, which I generally have once a week. People always ask me, how much time do I spend in the garden doing the work? And generally it's 1 day a week, and it's not a very long day either. But 1 day a week I get out there, I do a few jobs, sow some seeds, pot on some seedlings, plant some stuff, things like that. But it's not a very high maintenance garden, which sounds a little strange because obviously there's a lot going on, but it isn't, because I don't dig and I don't spray and I don't fuss with the plants. I just let them get on with it, basically. I mean, they know what they're doing. I don't. So I just put them in and let them get on with it. So that's all I do. I don't really have much else to do. I don't weed or anything like that. So there's not really much to do. And most of what I'm doing, I actually put on the videos and you see it. So yeah, not a lot of work. But I do try and regularly sow and pot on, certainly at this time of the year. What else do I need to do? I'll put a job list up here, of course, because I can put that in afterwards, and I can show you the jobs I actually did rather than me spouting off, saying all these jobs and then not doing them. So yeah, let's get in the garden and we'll crack on. That's the ginger there, and it's poking out of the top. There'll be a lot more below the soil, and that's the turmeric. And you can see obviously that they've died back totally, so I will just unearth those and then pop them back in again so they can kick off again. And we have the seedlings that are doing nicely. So we have some onions, parsley, some aubergine, some tomatoes doing well. They've been potted on now. I've got some new seedlings there, more onions, lettuce, peppers, more tomatoes. The chard have been potted on, so they'll be going out into the garden in not too distant future. And down there, as you see. So there's a few things already in the cold frame, but it is quite cold at night now, so I've put some tomatoes out there, actually, interestingly, as a bit of an experiment. So I've put the tomatoes in here that I want, but I had extras, so I put them in the cold frame to see if they would survive and do okay in the cold frame, and which ones would thrive the best. So I'll put a link up above to the tomato experiment I did last year, and this is just a continuation of that experiment, if you like. Obviously in here we have the overwintering peppers, which are looking sad in various sort of levels. I mean, this one here does seem to be coming back. I've got little leaves on that, so yeah, but some of the others not looking so happy. So yeah, we'll see. And of course in the back I've got my coumaris slips. They're in a pot now and ready to be going out into the kumara planter, which you can just see through the window when the weather gets a little bit warmer. Right, this is the ginger. Now I have no idea whether... Oh, hello little bee. Hello little bee. There's a little bee on my ginger. You don't have to go, sweetie. Come, go. Come up, up, up. Come on. Up, go. I have no idea whether ginger and turmeric like the really wet year that we had. We had practically no sun and it was very wet. Now, whether these have liked it and grown a lot or whether they've not done very well, I don't know. We shall find out. Okay. Let's take out the label. Might need a new label, that's looking a bit rotty, that one. I'll bring you in closer so you can see. Yeah, it's often pretty stuck in, that's the problem. It really gets itself, yeah, into the space. Can I get it out? It may take a while. Oh, it smells amazing. Aha! It's out. Okay, so that is the harvest. Not bad for basically a couple of bits just put in a pot and then ignored basically. So I think it's quite good. Whether it's more than last year, I'm not sure, but I'll clean it up and see. I haven't taken all the roots off some of these pieces because some of them I might use to put straight back into the pot just like this to save them having to make some new roots all over again. What I do now with this soil is I have some material from the worm bin over there and I'm just basically going to mix it through and then I just put it back in the pot and put the ginger in as well. I actually have some old sheep pellets, I think, in this shed. I might add those in as well. These are a bit old. I got these when we first had the garden, but I don't suppose they go off, do they? Don't think so. Anyway, I'm going to put some in because they need using up. Okay, I need a pebble for the bottom to stop the compost coming out. And I've saved these pieces. They've got some roots on already, so I thought that I could just put these straight back in. Okay, so hopefully you can see how I've got that arranged. I've got 6 bits in there, just a few inches below the surface. Then I just cover them up. So that's it. turmeric, it's a little bit different because it sort of has, I don't know if you can see from here, but it sort of has a sort of a main plant here which has the tuft out of the top and it has the roots coming out. And then it has these sort of bright orange sort of tubers that come off. This is the turmeric you want to harvest. This main bulb piece here with the plant on it, that I replant to grow again. But I take off the turmeric tubers. Essentially, it's storing the energy from the sun in these tubers over winter, and then it goes off again. So if we take that plant there is still okay to grow. So it's a little bit different than the ginger, where all of the ginger is just growing material. You can snap off any bit and stick it back in and it will grow again. With the turmeric, I found, well, the first year I just put in one of these orange tubers and that kicked it off, but we didn't get very many. I found that once I started to plant this main plant and just take the tubers off, we got more actual turmeric, usable turmeric. I've taken all the little tubers off here. It's got the main plant with the original stalk, all of the roots, and then these tubers on these little, I don't know, are they tubers? Probably, on the end. I put all that back in again and just take off the little baby outcroppings, if you like, that are very orange. And again, I'll add in some material from the worm bin and some seed pellets. Okay, so that's another one done. I've put it right up to the top. I don't find that it matters too much. I just bung them in, and I put those little plant corms with the tufts coming out the top. I put those a little bit sort of higher up, just so that they're just under the soil here. Yeah, and that's it. Same deal. I'll just give it a mild water, keep it mildly damp until it sprouts in the spring. So this is the turmeric that we got out of that. Not bad. We don't use as much turmeric obviously as we do ginger, but yeah, it goes quite a long way. Okay, so I've got a little sidetracked, and it's also the wind's picked up a lot, so I don't know how far I'm going to get today. But what I want to do is there's a rhubarb here, and then there's a rhubarb over there also behind me, and I want to move them closer in to the base of this quince. Partly because I'm planning to move Big Ben, the structure I have down in the West Gardens, over to this corner. And also partly because that one behind me doesn't really do very well. I think it's a bit too dark there. So I thought I'd move them closer to the quince. So that's what I'm going to try and do now. And hopefully the soil isn't too soggy. We will see. Okay, so first of all I needed to just harvest the rhubarb to get it small enough to move, and of course all this I'll process, and I generally stew it up and put it in the freezer, but that's not bad. That'll keep me going for a little while. One of the first things I have to do when I'm doing this is find the irrigation in this bed. So I found the pipe here, so I'm just going to tuck it behind. It's a bit soggy, the ground, but not too bad. Let's see if I can get this out. Okay. Okay, so it's moved here. I've made sure that the crown is above the soil level, and so that, yeah, so it's not buried. And hopefully that will come away in, well, it's already starting to grow, so it will hopefully come away this spring, and enjoy this new spot, because it should have a little bit more light. It's my dirty fence. Okay, all done. One here, one there. Hopefully they'll come away and like this spot a bit better. It's very squelchy and muddy here, but hopefully rhubarb don't mind that too much. Another job that I did today was just putting some compost on that asparagus bed at the back. You can see the old stalks still there, but I like to put a dressing of compost on every year. And I actually also put a couple of those sheep poo pellets on as well, just to give it a bit of a boost. That's the old grass pile compost that I got from my neighbour, and it's absolutely fabulous stuff. So I'm slowly going through it, and basically I'll be using all of that and some more, obviously, out of the chicken coop on all of the beds before I do my spring planting. You also wanted to show... Hello, yes. Oh, have you got something to say about that? Have you, girlies? Something to say? Yes. I just wanted to show you these beautiful, beautiful little snowdrops that have come up. I'm so pleased with them. And then look, over there, those are going to be bluebells. Hellebores are looking fabulous. And these hyacinths over here are just smelling delightful. There were only two bulbs that I had, but I do like them so much. I'm wondering if I can get some more, because they're lovely. Okay, well, at long last I got to the sowing. I got really sidetracked with all sorts of other jobs, and it's really windy. So I've got a few things to sow, just the 4 punnets today. So what are we sowing? I've got broccoli, and I'm actually going with a Tasty Stem F1, because I've heard that it's really good and that it will actually grow through summer. I don't have much luck with broccoli through the summer. I generally just grow it in the winter, but I thought I would try this through the summer. And then also I'm trying this summer purple sprouting broccoli. That was the stuff that got really, really tall a couple of years ago. It got really tall, and I sowed it in the right season, and again, right season to do it now, and it got really tall, and it didn't flower till the following year. Last year I sowed this when I did my other brassicas, sort of in the autumn, and that purple sprouting broccoli, the same stuff, is actually sprouting now in spring, which is when I expect it to. So I don't know, is it a fluke? I just thought I'd try sowing this again now, just to see if it does the same thing as it did before. But anyway, doing that. And then some more peppers. I've got sweet banana and quattro asti red, and also some saved pepper seeds as well. And get quiet. And also some saved pepper seeds as well, which came out of my daughter's organic veg box that she had a while ago. So they seem to do quite well. And then I've got some leeks, Musselburgh leeks to pop in, and also some lettuce. So that's what I'm sowing, quite simply, not that many of each, but basically just keeping going with the sowing. Okay, we're all done. I just give these good water and then they'll sit on my windowsill in my living room until they germinate. Then they go into the conservatory to grow on a little more. Okay, well, I didn't get as much done as I wanted to today. Yes, I had to clean the chickens, I had to move some things around, I had a visitor, so yeah, anyway, I got a little further along and there's always another day, so I'll see you next time. Bye!